Hello, and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to our combined Star Wars story with our bounty hunter Shistavon and Riden and our two young Force sensitives working together in different means, who have an assassination, a snatch and grab job turned bloodbath at the cloning facility Carbon Crucible on the world of Mandalore, in which Riden got his promised payment, though a little more work than he probably hoped to do so, killing a Mandalorian who had the armor that you guys peeled off of him, using lightsabers to cut through the Duraglass back of an office building and jumping into an awaiting kind of speeder truck that was being driven by Skull. You guys have fled the scene. You have fled the scene. You have put fleas all over the scene. No evidence will be found.
We go in there to investigate, but nah.
I have come here to leave.
I mean, these stormtrooper suits are apparently airtight, but they might not.
Have you ever gotten fleas in them?
Space fleas.
Space fleas.
They're
like
scene.
regular fleas, but they're this big.
And so you guys are all in the back of a speeder truck with Skull, and it's like you guys hop in the back, it's kind of like one of those. It's like a sliding door back. You like climb in the back, slide it shut, and Skull just guns it out of there. You guys are like kind of slamming against walls and against the back because Skull, as you all know, is a very efficient getaway driver.
I should have probably warned the group.
Yes, he probably braces himself in advance. You guys probably learn quickly to brace yourself. That Skull's a very good, not defensive driver, aggressive driver.
Flopsy's very soft, so as long as I don't suffocate, it'll be fine.
You've got your best friend airbag to help you.
Seatbelt.
And after a while of tumbling around, you guys will come to a stop.
We took Zadra's ship to get here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pop open the door. Where are we
Pop open the door. You see Zadra's ship. He's driven out to where you guys had kind of parked a little ways outside of the city.
Can I do the cool thing where I slide across the hood of the car?
Yeah. You're coming out like the back of a truck, so you're like walking around and then sliding across the hood. Okay.
Roll.
Yeah, let's see it. What's it? An agility? Is there
we can do agility.
An athletics? Is that athletic?
The athletics is brawn.
Is there anything? Coordination.
Coordination. I don't have any coordination, but that's never stopped me before.
I feel like I, as a human being, am a high dexterous character, but with like negative ranks in coordination because I'm clumsy, but I'm good at catching myself. So I'm definitely going to be an old person who just like breaks bones all the times when I lose my reaction time because I'm just an absolute klutz. I just have the reaction time to save myself and bones that aren't brittle yet.
So you got to take care of yourself. So hopefully your bones won't be brittle.
What difficulty?
Lots of milk. Difficulty, it'll be average. Just because I want there to be. You know what? Also, let's roll some destiny points.
That's a good idea.
Do I get to re-roll my thing?
No.
Damn.
Nope. Gotta keep what you got.
Nah.
What is it?
2 failures but 3 advantage.
Right.
You kind of go to slide across. You tell me. How does failing at this, but with advantage, work?
One dark side.
One dark side.
How does failing? I like.
Play it off cool.
No!
Yeah, so I try to like slide, but I don't actually like slide anywhere. It just looks kind of like I sit on the.
And you just go like. So it looks like you're just popping up there to take a seat.
Yeah.
A second dark side from Jocelyn.
A second dark side. That's unlikely.
And
I know.
I expect you that. What?
What is this?
And one more dark side from.
What is happening? I'm Flopsy.
because you feel bad about unaliving those guys.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah. A little bit.
They're mercenary printers. What?
Printers.
That's true. They do, they grow mercenaries. That is true.
What?
But clones aren't even people, are they?
Exactly. They are. Clones are people. If you watch the Star Wars TV shows, clones are people, fuck you.
Yeah, but legally clones are not people. So
They're proper.
It also seems like most droids are people. In the Star
dumb
Wars
people.
universe. Some of them are dumb. That's very
So,
true.
does that mean don't kill dumb people?
Or if you do... Never mind.
Stop.
Clones are people, droids are dumb people.
A lot of people are dumb people.
That's true.
I'm like, why are you describing every person I go to school with?
Whoa.
I
I
know.
went to school with a lot of B1 battle droids.
Hey, you don't talk about costume like that.
Oh, come on. With that build, he's a B2.
That's fair.
Yeah, like an early generation where they got the processors quite right, but
Roger. Now I just imagine all the people like in the hallway as B1 battle droid, like just shuffling around.
and we're talking
running into
Clone Wars animated series
Oh,
B1
yeah.
battle
yeah.
droids for sure.
They've got like very
Anyway,
loose- Sorry.
focus back up. You guys are where I described you're at.
Well,
let's get in the ship. Let's get out of here.
We're kind of waiting for Zadra, aren't we?
Oh yeah,
What's he doing?
He was
distraction.
a distraction.
I will.
Look, a distraction.
Yeah,
I
basically.
mean, I'll at least load up my new armor into the ship.
Okay,
Cool.
you were able to do so.
I'll keep a lookout for Zadra.
I'll be in the ship.
A little bit of time is going to go by, but after a while, you see Zadra riding in on a small speeder bike that he probably borrowed. Doesn't look anything fancy or nice. It's kind of basic little speeder bike that he's going to pull up and stop and kind of come off, looking like he's kind of catching his breath as he does so, and like walk over and be like, "So, judging by the commotion, I'm guessing it was a success."
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Mission.
All right.
We totally unaligned this guy.
That everything went smoothly.
I mean,
About as well as I expected.
yeah.
Good. The next step of this could be a bit tricky. We need to get the armor now forged so that you can actually wear it comfortably. And we just so happen to be in the right spot to do that, but we've kind of kicked the nest.
The original Lego Star Wars game for the original trilogy, where it had the hat machine, and that's how you got through a lot of
You
doors.
put, like, Chewbacca
You did
in
on
it, like that.
Chewbacca, and there's like a stormtrooper helmet just like sitting up on top of
Oh
his head.
yeah.
That's the image you. That's the mental
It's not like
image
one
you
size
get.
fits all.
It is
bullshit.
not. And he says,
Well, Mandalorian armor is kind of a handmade deal.
Yeah, and not very many people know how to forge it. I happen to know somebody here who I believe still does, though they're a part of a group that has to operate fairly secretly at this point on World. I think I can get
5
us.
stars.
I think I can get us to them, but they are in the kind of undercity of the city we just kind of kicked the hornet's nest of.
Yeah, this might be a wait for your posse to lose a wanted level before accepting this mission kind of thing.
Do you think they'd be able to track us back to the ship here? Like if we just lay low for a day?
I wouldn't think so. I think we could lay low for a little bit of time.
Unless anybody comes looking for their speeders.
That's
Does
fair
LoJack
point.
exist?
I think that nobody's going to come looking for this bike. We could drop the truck off, and I could go with someone to drop the truck off, and we could come back with the bike.
Fair enough.
So at least there's not people out looking.
I get to drive.
I won't stop.
I'll follow you in the bike.
All right.
Do you know how to drive a speeder, kid?
Piloting planetary, I do.
All right. And you hop into the driver's seat of the truck. Zadra's behind you. Go ahead and give me a piloting planetary. I wouldn't make you roll this if I didn't want there to be a chance that you mess it up. It is going to be an easy piloting planetary because you're literally driving in like fairly open terrain and just driving up and parking somewhere.
It's an agility check, which I'm very good at.
Well, yeah, I noticed you were rolling 4 dice for the one you made earlier.
Yeah, don't jinx
He's a
yourself,
very agile
buddy.
kid. There's no way he
There,
messes this
one
up.
success, one advantage.
Okay.
Although there were 2, threat. There were 2 threat on it. So it's like, ugh.
You had enough advantage, though, to counteract it. So you, along with Zadra, ride back in. You guys just kind of park somewhere on the outskirts of town with the truck, and you hop on the back of the bike, and he drives you back over.
Nice. Mission accomplished. Hey, how come nobody was going to come looking for this bike?
he keeps
flashback to him, just like
somebody
lightsaber.
He just looks like this. What? Over the sound of the motorbike, the speeder bike. It doesn't seem like he can.
Why did I ask that? Because I need culpability. That's why.
You're trying to make yourself feel better about your own crimes. Be like, Zadra also probably does crimes.
It's the Jedi way.
Of course I turned out bad. I was virtually raised by a Zabrak and a Shistavan bounty hunter who just killed people all the time.
He's not like other Jedi, which I've said a lot of times. Anyway, so you guys arrive back, and so the plan is to kind of sleep on the ship maybe a day or two? What do you guys think?
I mean, just whenever Zadra thinks we're going to be fine to move. I mean, if this was Nar Shaddaa, we'd go right away. It wouldn't really matter.
Yeah, how scummy is this town?
It's not very. This is like the big city on Mandalore, and is heavy Imperial presence. Like, the Empire is pretty big game here. He says, though, like, I would think if we wait at least 2 days, I mean, they might be on higher alert than they were when we got here, but they won't be actively searching all over anymore. And where we're going is not near that building anyways.
Fair enough.
A couple days wouldn't hurt.
They're not like, hey, there's the getaway car.
Yeah, I haven't even seen a stormtrooper yet over the course of this campaign.
Don't wait.
So I want to like.
And you probably won't see any today either.
I want to mostly keep that streak going.
Yeah.
There's wood somewhere around here. I think this trim's probably.
Yeah, you can knock on your head.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I guess that sounds like a good plan.
All right. Are you guys doing anything in particular during this time?
I'm gonna practice my lightsaber.
Okay. Dad just happy to kind of go through some motions with you and both of you and kind of practice some different form stuff. He has an easier time practicing with you than he does with you because yours is very unique. Your form is very different.
You could train with skull just as far as punching.
So it's like, what you do is you find head, you wind back, you make the head disappear. It's easy. He teaches you a very robotic punch form.
He has like one punch. He has the straight punch and then the uppercut like a rock Sakuroma.
If it's possible to do that training inside the ship, that would be my recommendation.
He probably has you guys doing it primarily in the ship.
We wouldn't want somebody to
what the fuck is that?
And see that.
And if it is outside of the ship at all, he doesn't have you use the lightsaber.
Fair enough.
That's good.
Just like we're doing yoga.
Yeah. Yoga.
Fucking hippies.
Slapping each other with still playing slapstick.
Yeah, we're just playing ninja.
I slapped
during this time,
as hard as I knocks you out.
I want you to go ahead and roll me a 4-star real quick.
Okay.
Evil.
One dark side? Sounds about right.
Yep.
You have a dream, a vision one night. You have this dream of being back in the frozen cave once which you were being trained in. And you see Master Dagunji and he's going through those, like, you have that ancient Jedi sword in your hand again and you're going through those first forms of lightsaber and, like, really starting to practice fundamentals where you're, like, feeling awkward and feeling like, this is before you learned how to kind of use your agility to your advantage, and you're in that moment, in that exact moment again, and you hear, like, a kind of rumbling around you, and you look around and you see, like, cracks starting to form around the cave, and as you run towards the stairs with Master Dagunji, it comes crumbling down, and you just get outside of it in time, but Master Dagunji doesn't make it. And you kind of, like, you feel that same sadness, and you kind of fall on your knees and, like, drop and put your head in your hands. And as you, like, look back up, you can see some of the rebel you see what looks like a number of Imperial types, and you see them excavating away the rocks. Oh. And you see them carving and pulling away, and then it kind of cuts to back inside the cave, and you see a very particular room that you knew had very important stuff inside of it open and not torn down anymore. And you just see a hunched figure in a black robe standing looking at it and slowly laughing to himself.
Uh-oh.
And then you snap awake.
I tell Zadra.
So
Dad, I had a nightmare.
You crawl into his bunk, which is just a regular one-person bunk.
size bunk. So you wake up. It is kind of early morning or late night kind of time. It's just dawn is nearing, and you go and wake up Zadra.
Yeah.
Okay. He kind of comes to. He's like, "Is something wrong?"
I had, I think like a force stream.
Force stream. Was it cryptic and threatening?
Oh yes.
Sounds like a vision. He rubs the sleep out of his eyes.
Oh yeah. I'll tell him about. I'll be like, so there's this room in Dagunji's chambers that was like a super like forcey place, and
you notice like he like immediately wakes up when you start talking about this room and like focuses.
And I had a dream that the bad guys had like repaired it, and that the big bad guy was standing in it laughing.
That is very, very dire, if that's the truth. If they could... I mean, Master Dagunji himself brought that down, didn't he?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Couldn't imagine I wouldn't think they could... He kind of like works on something like... We need to get this done quick and get to the bottom of that, because that can't be allowed to happen. If the Emperor had access to that room put back together, then there's not a single Force sensitive, whether they know their powers or not yet, who'd be safe from him.
Well, that includes me, so let's go.
Let's finish our deal with Riden and... Dire indeed.
I could probably sneak a couple of grenades from him, and that might help. Just like throw it in the... It blows up.
We're going to have to do better than Dagunji did, apparently, in making sure that room could never be used again.
We steal a Death Star. Right. Just blow up the planet.
Done. Easy. What do you guys need this torpedo for again? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. What are you, a cop?
There's just two of us carrying it down the street like a rolled up carpet.
It is rolled up in a carpet.
But you can clearly see like jet fins on the back and the nose
carpet
coming out the front.
delivery for the evil sanctum. Oh yes, come right over.
Come right over.
It's just down here.
I didn't know we needed a carpet. Interesting.
You roll it out.
It's really tight to hook together.
All right.
Dumb interlude done. Yeah, I guess we'll get ready to head back into the city to our Mandalorian forge person.
All right.
God, hurry up.
True, bad shit.
Do you tell Flopsy about that at all?
I don't think so. I wouldn't want to worry Flopsy.
Fair enough.
I'm just a baby.
Just a baby. They can punch through a cinder block wall.
Big for
Strong child.
She's just a baby. And you see, like, in the background, like, tearing a door off its hinges and, like, throwing it.
It's very much that Emperor, like, I'm too weak. So, you, I guess, finished a little bit of time of letting your 5-star wand level cool down, and then he says, I guess we're going to walk back into town again this time, unless I don't think all of us are going to fit on this bike.
Dibs.
I think we can all walk together.
I call dibs.
Dibs
I
on
did.
walking.
I'm gonna pick him up.
Oh,
Flopsy picks you up. You try and fail to fight back, as is tradition.
Yeah.
And you guys
I
start
hop
heading
on,
back to the
Flopsy just
city.
picks me up.
Picks you up, puts you over his shoulder, and starts walking. And you guys all start heading back to town. Is Skull coming with you or staying back at the ship?
Yeah, I'll bring Skull.
Okay. So
the whole gang, just in case.
The whole
something goes
squad
wrong.
comes through, and he comes in. And as you guys get close to the city, he says, "I don't think any of our likenesses are going to be out and about there, but in case they are, we should try and move subtly,
Well, I don't think anybody who saw us is still alive, so.
just in case security systems and stuff they might have, or anyone who just else in the facility who knew who was there. There's a chance. Better safe than sorry.
Fair
So let's all roll stealth checks.
I'll also wear my concealing robe.
Concealing robe.
Do I have a concealing robe?
Concealing robe.
I feel like
Your robe is a concealing robe.
I've done a lot of mileage out of those.
That's a boost, right?
No, it just makes
Other
makes
people-
other
What if
people's
there
checks
was a
harder to
concealing
like
loincloth
recognize.
for Flopsy?
It'll be average.
Average stuff.
Beer.
Well, it has no ranks in stealth, but
It
it does have 3.
Hi.
That's a 6 success.
Good lord.
2
Lordy,
advantages.
lordy.
What's your agility?
I don't know.
2.
2. And then what's your stealth?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm not stealthy. I'm
That's what you got.
You.
Roll! Oh, I got 1 failure, but 1 advantage. So
Zadra does great. Skull succeeds, but with a couple threat. It's kind of he's moving fairly quietly, but anyone who does look at him, he stands out, so he does draw some attention.
all his tattoos.
They know, guy's trouble. He's got tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 3 tattoo rule.
That's right. He's got 7 or something.
A guy with 3 or more tattoos will almost always stab you.
I'm getting very close
So
to
you guys are both on the line there.
Well, the way that comic ends is just like, I don't think that's how that works.
Jocelyn has never stabbed me, but
No.
only no tattoos though, as you
I
can
know.
tell.
I'm not tattooed. What are you talking about? Don't look at the back.
proudly showing off a new tattoo last week.
Overall, you guys are moving pretty quietly and stuff through here, and he takes you to kind of like a sketchier part of town, and it's kind of the very much he goes into an alleyway, and that alleyway has like a building, like a back door to a building that doesn't actually lead to any storefronts or anything, just kind of leads to a building that's run down and doesn't have anything in it. And in kind of a back corner of it, there's like a hatched area that has a ladder that goes down to kind of an undercity sewage part, and it's kind of this convoluted path that ends up in the Mandalorians hiding out on like Bounty Hunter World at the beginning of the Mandalorian series.
Classic.
Like very much like a group of true Mandalorians, not necessarily the you can't take your helmet off or your scum, like their weird sect of Mandalorians, but like we don't believe in Imperial rule, we want Mandalore to be run by true strong fighting Mandalorians like the good old days kind of Mandalorians. And approaching, you don't really know you're getting close until like there's a number of people in Mandalorian gear all around you, and Zadra takes off his hood, and one of them seems to recognize him, and they have a brief conversation. Pulls a gun. They have a brief conversation, and then he lets you guys back.
He's like, son of a bitch.
Zadra, you son of a respectable muscle, and takes you back.
All right, we're in.
I can respect these people. I got a real predator-prey outlook. I respect that, because I have that outlook.
You're either predator or you're prey.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're one, sometimes you're the other.
Oh gosh.
You? Prey.
What?
You?
Say that to my
predator.
Yeah.
That won't be any more dangerous than saying it to your face. Haven't hit anything with them yet.
Yeah.
It's hard.
We need to give you some milk.
Need some milk. You guys kind of go back to an area where there's some sitting space. You can tell this is training and living quarters for these guys down here. There's a small table set up, and Zadra takes a seat across from this guy who he seemed to recognize in the group, and the guy takes his helmet off and sets it there, and he's a fairly clean-cut looking human, Mandalorian, but they just look like humans. And he says, "Everyone, this is Usuth Tear. Him and I have some history going back a little ways." I can sense that.
I can sense it too.
Hey, you don't know. You don't know what Zadra's into.
It's true.
And he says,
Zadra
this
has a real
is a
That joke goes over.
friend of ours named Riden, and we have a kind of odd request. We have some Beskar, some Mandalorian steel armor taken from a Mandalorian that he would like to have forged for himself. And you can see, like, there's an immediate, like, are you fucking kidding me? Look from this Usuth guy, and he says, before you get too far off here, this armor was pulled off of Trim Singh. And you can notice, like, he relaxes just slightly. And he says, so Singh's dead then.
Oh, very dead.
Who did it?
I think he did.
Pretty sure I'm gonna kill him.
Got the killing blow.
Yeah.
I killed
Almost
everyone. Flopsy killed the rest.
Yay!
There was much rejoicing. He's going to look at you and be like, well, I've got good news and I've got bad news.
Seems to be everybody I talk to.
There's no shortage of the latter, unfortunately. The good news is, Trim Singh was a waste of Mandalorian air. And the fact that you're the one who ended him, and the fact that he has no one in his family line to take up his armor, does, by Mandalorian right, give it to you. And while I would have some hesitancy in allowing a non-Mandalorian to take up that armor, because of the nature of whose it was and the fact that you ended his life, I think it's reasonable to get that crafted and forged for you. However, Avid is not in the commune. And, Zadra kind of like cock ahead and be like, what happened? A bit of a dispute with some Imperials went awry, and he is unfortunately in lockup on World at the moment.
Do you know where?
I know where the lockup is. Heavy Imperial presence. We've considered a full-on attack to get him out of there, but the death toll for something so straightforward and head-on would be not outweighed by saving him. And I think he would know that. And be mad at us for the attempt. Avid Beck is the only one amongst us who still knows the art of forging Mandalorian steel. If you can find a way to get him out of there, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to finish off that armor for you.
Prison break. Prison break.
Yeah, the trick is doing it without drawing even more Imperial attention. Says Zadra.
So here's what I'm thinking. I bring you in there, and then we start playing.
Well, that was immediately where my mind went, except the other way around, where I bring him in there. But, look, I don't know too much about your wizardly order.
You're talking to Zadra at this point.
But I do know that there are people within the Empire that want you all dead, and they're exactly the type of people we don't want to get the attention of. So I don't think that trying the same prisoner trick with a rogue Jedi
They wouldn't put me in that lockup.
is going to work very well.
At least not for long.
And even if it
Just
does,
take
we're
me
going
in.
to attract the attention of something much worse than stormtroopers.
He gives you a very sincere and direct nod and says, if our presence becomes known here, it would not end well.
And that's why I shot those two unarmed people. Because the two of you were swinging lightsabers around in that room.
Just a baby.
You're fine. Like I said, you're the one who killed the people I didn't kill in that room, so you have my respect.
What was I gonna say? You could just take me in, say that I stole your car or something.
Citizens arrest.
Well, you're a bounty hunter. You're like, I caught this guy trying to steal my speeder and throw him in lockup.
I caught this kid being a punk.
Yeah, but that doesn't...
Take him to kid jail.
And the
Yeah, I guess.
Usuth says, this is not the local prison.
Yeah.
This is a
Special.
spot they keep reserved for enemies of the Empire. Bounty hunters, unless they had a big name bounty coming in, wouldn't be going to this particular facility to hand them off.
Could we find a big name bounty? I mean, I am a bounty hunter. We just walk in with an actual bounty. Now, and that's actually interesting. Depending on who, if it's the type of crazy person to earn that kind of bounty,
they might be crazy enough to go with it.
They might be crazy enough to go with it, or to like see it as an opportunity.
Well, we could knock
that
out
could
a
be
couple stormtroopers, sneak on in there, and pretend to be stormtroopers.
That is a classic Star Wars maneuver.
I would like to once again reference
Chewbacca
with the stormtrooper helmet sitting on top of his head.
Well, obviously Flopsy couldn't.
I couldn't do it.
I'm a little short.
You're a little short for a stormtrooper.
I think one person in our group can fit the stormtrooper size.
But where would he keep his lightsaber?
You hear from a little further back in this compound a voice kind of pipe up. And he says, "I've got an Imperial bounty." And you see a fairly stocky-looking dude in Mandalorian gear kind of stand up with it. He has his helmet on the side behind him. You can see he's like a pretty old-looking dude, like pretty wrinkled, but definitely like battle-scarred and definitely still like a warrior look to him. And he's like, "They've been after me after a scuffle a couple weeks ago. I think that the bounty's up to about 20,000 credits at the moment."
So we just turn this guy.
And he smiles and he says, "I've got the..." he pulls up this little tag that has a bunch of blue and red squares on. He says, "I've got the officer tags to prove it." He tucks it back in.
Alright.
Now that gets us in. Or that leaves us with the same problem the Mandalorians had of being pretty badly outnumbered in a straight fight.
Well, we could go cause a distraction. Like,
Yeah.
put a lightsaber through a power grid or
I-
something.
I was rolling to just see
Right.
your guys' luck in this situation, so I did what I love to do, which is one yellow, one red, and rolled it, and got nothing on the red and a triumph on the yellow.
It's just like,
So this guy's like, "Hell yeah!"
That kind of sounds like fun.
you want to function up? It's been like 2 weeks since I last functioned.
So this is the guy who was like, when they first were like, "All right, we're gonna put together an assault force. We're gonna go get him out." This guy was like, "Yes, yes, yes."
They're like,
"Oh,
the death toll's going to be too high for one guy. No, come on, send me. Let me do it.
I'll do it myself.
He's like, "I'm old. I'm an old Mandalorian, and the only way I'm supposed to die is in battle. And no one's been able to do it yet, damn it."
He's that old orc from Skyrim.
He is. That dude was like walking around trying to find a worthy death. He's
At
that
this point,
guy.
I'm just gonna hold 2 thermal detonators and run him there.
I mean, that gets us in. He looks like he could probably handle himself in a straight fight.
But what gets
Yeah,
us
we could
out?
cause like some kind of
Yeah, we
distraction or power outage or
If
some
we
sort
can,
Ooh.
we need some
Let-
asymmetrical terrain here.
yeah, let's take a look at this lockup, because if they have some sort of external power source, finding some way of shutting that down or
Sneak it in.
causing a riot, or I mean, heck, if we can get to a point where we can just open all the prisoner cells, at that point we're probably.
Find some air vents.
Prison
just
riot.
like
Prison riot.
I mean, I guess really at that
fill
point
Flopsy
our
up on
plan
some
is
bean
to
burritos and sit her on top of the air conditioning units.
our plan at that point is to I guess get to like prisoner bank controls and not to like we don't need to fight our way to the cell and fight our way out. We just need to fight our way to the door controls, and then we might have some compatriots taking up arms. And if this is the type of place it sounds like, I don't necessarily have that much problem with all those guys just running loose on Mandalore, assuming any of them escape.
Do we have...
The guy who stood up and offered himself as the Mandalorian sacrifice says, "Most of the guys in there are either somebody who were once counted amongst our numbers or somebody who'd have no problem bopping some imp heads. That's for sure."
Hang on. I'm gonna look up how much a splicer kit is,
Do you think we could...
because I have some computers and that might be helpful.
do you think we could... Now, do you think we could get in there with a case of rifles? Because then that would make things interesting.
He says, any Mandalorian's a weapon. If you give him a weapon, he's a lot better at one, though.
I could carry lots of them.
That's true.
That is true.
The problem is I don't know if they'll let us through the security checkpoint if one of us is just carrying an armload of
Give
guns.
Flopsy a cute outfit and say she's a delivery girl.
Gun delivery. I didn't know we'd ordered it. Come right in.
Come back for the prisoners. It's not for you. You didn't. Whack.
Excuse me, Mr. Death Row inmate. Death Row inmate, your delivery has arrived.
50 carbines.
Set it over there next to my funny cat picture.
What would you like for your final meal?
I just picture this like hardcore Mandalorian dude sitting in a cell with like a picture up on his wall. It's like a tree branch with a cat holding on it, says "Hang in there," and you open the door and like looking up, and
next
he's
to
like,
it, it's Garfield.
rifle delivery.
And he's like, I hate Mondays. It's just like an office.
That's what his prison posters are.
Okay.
Hang in there, cat.
So Slicer gear is 500, but it's a rarity 4. Which I think means it's restricted in some
No, it'll
No,
say
it'll
if
have
it's
a
restricted.
Oh, okay.
restricted thing.
So
on it.
yeah, just rarity 4 then. There's this dang thing. I'm trying to find like the actual...
How much are they?
500?
500. This Usuth Tear, the guy who's kind of the boss down here, it seems like, says that if you need some splicing gear, they can get hold of some splicing gear for you.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Part of hiding in the underground is getting connections in it.
Okay. I'm just reading what Slicer gear does.
Do I do anything?
I mean, yeah. I guess if it's depending on who of us goes in, somebody will just have to do what Zadra did and carry this guy's guns. He'll probably still be in his armor. And we can just. Oh no, we got loose! We're yelling as we're shooting stormtroopers. And he's shooting stormtroopers. Suppose I wouldn't want a couple demo charges just in case we need to get through locked doors.
Says we definitely got some of those.
It's my preferred way of getting through locked doors.
Most efficient, that's for sure.
Not for people on the other side, though. They don't seem to like it so much.
Or the people that have to pay for the doors.
Yeah. Well, most of the places that I've blown... Well, no.
Oh, I think I might have bumped your camera.
No, it's still it's fine. You bumped the cord.
I guess Grok has probably had to pay to replace his vault door.
Twice.
Only
If
once.
I
You
had
guys
a
didn't
nickel
mess
for
with
every
the
time that this...
These guys broke one of my doors.
I'd have 2 nickels.
Just
Not a
one.
lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. I mean, letting the prisoners loose is definitely going to be the way to go as far as, like, evening the odds. It'd be nice if we could arm them. But I don't know if we're going to be able to bring guns in, so we might just have to hope that if we can reach a security office and hit the open all doors button,
I mean, you
it
can
opens
just,
an armory door.
like, you're a bounty hunter. You have a bunch of weapons on you anyway. Just carry a couple extra ones. No one will really be able to tell.
It's true.
You're like, hey, wait a minute. That bounty hunter's carrying 2 extra pistols.
Yeah, Skull could just like carry 2 blaster carbines, and people would be like, "I'm not going to tell that giant tattooed droid no."
No.
Look at him. I mean, it at least lets us arm a couple prisoners to get a ruckus going.
Bring the ruckus. Bring the noise.
So let's take a look at this building and see if we can.
I don't want peace. I want problems.
Well, I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can. Shutting down the power, I guess, is. Unless shutting down the power opens all the doors anyway, in which case this was a poorly designed prison.
It probably locks all the doors.
Right, so we probably don't want to shut down power, so
Well,
just...
it's not necessarily like something that we do to the prison. It could just be like, oh look, there's a vehicle depot over there, and I just sneak in and turn on all the car alarms.
Well, if they give us a third demo charge, and somebody could set a timer on it and sneak it into vehicle compound or something like that.
We need to see.
Yeah,
and then
let's
we
go.
can.
It's not a better. Well, yeah, but then because if we can do something on a timer, then we could all. Then you guys are my bounty hunting crew, and this is the guy we brought in.
I'm gonna need some platform heels, something to make myself a little taller.
And one of us is in training. I'll let you guess which one.
Hey, it's Flopsy.
I have to be very up on my Gregorian, and I know that you are definitely a 7-year-old.
You can tell by the ears.
They're very flopsy one, might even say.
So
yeah, let's go.
Let's go. I'll be right back.
Let's go. Take a look at
all the smack talk.
Yeah, all the smack talk. 4-star recording.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I know. The next time you shame me, I'm going to bully you so hard.
He's just in the doorway flexing.
So you guys mount up. I guess this new friend Quar will come with you, seeing as he's okay, I'm a part of this now.
How do you spell Quar?
Quar. His last name is Stohl. Stohl.
Stohl. Okay, that's what it is.
Quar Stohl.
I stole a quarter.
He stole a Quar. Quar stole. He stole the Quar.
Just making notes. I know who most of these people are. I'm pretty sure I remember who that is.
I know one name that's probably not on there. Vadric.
That's true. Vacral?
Vacral. Who's Vadric? Vadric's somebody too, isn't he?
Actual?
Vadric. Who's Vadric?
That name.
I don't even remember his name. Vacral, you poor bastard. So.
Oh yes, you. Whatever your name is.
Vagina.
Vegeta.
If he ever calls me back, I will probably have forgotten by that point.
Who are you again? So, you guys all mount up, head out, and looking at this facility, you guys kind of stare at it through some binoculars from afar.
I do have macro binoculars.
Nice.
Looks like a building.
True.
And you can tell that this is a wing of a larger Imperial facility. And you can tell there is it seems like a decent amount of the Imperial response in the city probably comes from this building. There's multiple different, there's a large hangar area that probably has some TIE fighters stationed in it. There's a couple of lower vehicle dock areas where speeders and bikes and stuff probably come and go. It seems like this is a larger Imperial facility, but one kind of upper wing of it that you can get to from one side leads to this. He kind of points that out as the area where this lockup is. So there's at least one checkpoint that we know that you have to go through to get inside of, but we don't know the exact layout of the place.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we definitely don't need to take down the whole thing.
Okay.
If we can get into the
Cora's like, come on, and slaps your back.
Look, if we get into the prisoner wing, we open the door. We get a hold of the forge. We open all the doors. We get a hold of your forge master. After that, I don't care what you do.
Says if one of them has got enough guts to take me down, good for him. Otherwise, I'll help you get Avid back.
If you survive this, then sort of looking to putting together a bounty hunting and mercenary team. You look like you'd fit the bill.
Go ahead and give me a hard coercion.
A hard coercion?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
This guy doesn't want to know how convincing you are. He want to know welcome to the Salty Spittoon. How tough are you?
I'm going
How tough am I?
to spend a strain.
Like how did he milk? Oh. Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm going to spend a strain and
Turn that to an average.
turn that to an average.
Okay.
And that's that. Okay. 1 success, 2 threats.
Okay. He's gonna say.
Look at how intimidating I am to shoot a guy. That's the threats.
you just shoot your gun in the air. I don't even care. I'm crazy.
The facility, the distance, the alarms start going up.
He's gonna say. You know, grassroots rebellions are a young man's game, anyways. And how about this? You show just how capable of a bounty hunter you are in this little escapade we're about to get ourselves in here, and
Little.
you show me something I think's impressive, maybe I'll throw my lot in on your crew.
Fair enough.
Little.
That is if one of those white cap bastards doesn't have a clean enough shot to take me out while I'm in there.
Well, that's assuming I survive as well.
Give me a Dr. Thunder.
Okay.
I'll take whatever, man.
Okay.
Something inconvenient, please. The one you just had to strain for? How about that? The strain adds to the flavor. It's like love in a recipe.
Will, you want
strain?
Yeah, just whatever, man.
Okay.
Gives you strength.
The strain and the strength of the
Your
doctor.
struggle feeds me.
Cola.
Makes me stronger.
I knew it. Ericsson's a Sith.
Every single one of them. That isn't you, Manix.
He's everybody else in the galaxy.
The only Sith I'm not is you.
It's true.
Oh.
The third act betrayal.
Can't wait for it.
When Flopsy has to kill you and be like, "You were the chosen one.
We were like brothers!
We were supposed to feed them, not join them."
What would Dagunji say? What did Dagunji give his life for?
The Gunji's dead.
Dagunji's dead. And so will you be, soon enough.
But then he starts swinging his lightsaber and miss it.
And then you punch him and rip his head off because he's popping off.
Dang it.
I pop it off like a Barbie doll.
Worst Sith ever.
All right.
Alright.
I mean,
Darth Maul, worst Sith ever.
What?
What?
Loses a fight to a Padawan. Twice.
Who?
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan? Well, he didn't lose the second. I mean, he loses to him more than once, but only once is he a Padawan.
That's right.
Cockiest Sith at one point, probably not.
I mean, stands in the doorway, slowly pulls out his lightsaber. Definitely cocky as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But I love him.
it's
got
also
flair
it's,
for
all, it's,
Jedi.
also it's also just it's a great reveal.
It's a great
like
oh,
that.
yeah.
The doors open and it's just him standing there. It's really cool.
And I mean, we owe a lot of that to the musical stylings of.
It's true.
It
It wouldn't be the same if it was
AJ
like Sad Trumpet or something.
JJ.
What's his name?
J.J. Martin.
Not J.J.
John Williams.
John Williams.
John
John
Williams.
Williams.
The John
is
Williams
genius
score.
of conducting beautiful
Yeah.
music. Anyway,
Anywho.
As far as like causing a distraction, elsewhere in the facility's not bad. Hopefully they don't just lock down the entrance we're trying to use. Yeah, we'd let you in, but real shit's happening over the other end of the building.
Zadra will pipe up and say, "Well, I don't want to necessarily make a habit of being the person to leave from the main fight and cause a distraction. Look, we all had our roles during the galactic war that took place before now, and what I did in that time gives me some expertise in these kinds of things. I could certainly cause a distraction and, if I'm lucky enough, maybe even mess with some of the security systems involved in your guys' wing of the building while I'm at it.
You want a demo charge?
I prefer something more subtle, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Get a load of this guy.
Get a load of this guy. A giant melted hole in the side of the building is not more stealthy.
How do you think they got in? I have no idea.
Does somebody feel a draft?
First of all, kid, the hole you left in the back of that building is going to be trouble enough for us. Never mind, you know, it's fine.
I did.
I'll take care
I
of
did the
this.
same thing with arc cutter.
Could've been me.
Could have been. Now I need to like carry around an arc cutter just so that we can like disguise what we're doing.
Hey, did you do those crimes with lightsaber? No, I did those crimes with cutter. Oh, okay. Seize him.
You're still under arrest. Oh, well,
We're still under arrest, but we're not going to send you to the Inquisitors, just a normal.
that solves the bet that I had going with this other Imperial officer. Now we will arrest you.
Now come with me.
I love the idea that it's the two investigators like staring at the window going, it's gotta be a lightsaber.
Arc cutter, come on.
Arc cutters are a dime a dozen. Who has a lightsaber?
That's what I'm saying.
And then when they search you after arresting you, and he pulls this out, ha ha ha!
But he had an arc cutter.
Classic arc cutter ruse. Damn Jedi.
Well,
Always a step ahead.
I guess we'll.
Well, it's that when they search me, they find the art cutter and they don't look for the lightsaber shoved up my ass.
Just don't flinch. Hopefully you got that. Hopefully you got it pommel up.
Always pommel up. That's why I use a reverse grip.
It just spins around.
Flexes his biceps.
Listen, all I'm saying is the universe is a really big place, and there's a lot of unique lightsaber styles.
4-8. Mongolia. I hate it.
All I'm saying is George Lucas is a coward if he doesn't have an alien race that doesn't have any arms, but they're still Jedi.
An incredibly adept and dexterous aiming.
We have a lot of fun here, folks.
We have a good time here.
It's almost like we record these just as an excuse to hang out and
Hang
play
out
games.
games.
Sure.
Well, like I guess we can, if we give Zadra a little bit of a head start on going to cause his distraction.
I don't get to sleep.
I'll go help.
No.
Well, we might need all the. I was about to say we might need all the capable combatants we can inside, but the point is that if there's going to be a fight inside, and I kind of want to stack the odds in our favor as much as possible.
Fair enough.
So I would prefer to have another person on our side once we go in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's capable enough to cause a distraction on their own, it's Zadra. So I'll definitely go with you and help fight. I'm just saying that my main fighting technique is very distinguishable. Like, I can shoot okay.
Yeah. You might have to just... Yeah. Well, yeah, but you were also the one with slicing.
Oh, that is true. I gotta come with you so when we get to the door room, I can slice it.
So, probably don't go waving your lightsaber around. Stick with shooting if you can.
What is my shooting?
It's just my agility.
Which is good.
Which is good. Like, it's still 4 dice. I'm just being ornery. I don't get my maximum effect. Why didn't you put more points into... Why didn't you put more points into shooting? Because I'm a fucking Jedi!
Because how uncivilized.
because at the beginning of this campaign, I made a Force-sensitive character, and I put the points in the lightsaber when I could. Because I'm not a fucking loser.
Alright, well, when the Inquisitors box you up and ship you off to some dark planet...
Then I'll cut my way out with a lightsaber.
I'm sure.
They don't want to box you up.
I'm sure at this point.
That's true.
I'm sure at this point the Inquisitors are wise to the old lightsaber up the ass.
It only takes one Inquisitor to get butthole lightsaber for the entire regime to change its strategy.
That to just become standard operating procedure.
They don't call him Kit Fisto for nothing. That's all I'm saying.
I hate it. So. You have your distraction man. You have your bounty to bring in. You have your Hecker man.
So I guess we'll give...
You have a couple of charges.
We'll give this bounty hunter's guns to... Or this Mandalorian's guns to either Flopsy or Manus.
Okay.
So they can just immediately toss them back to him.
He unlatches his belt and dangles it out, and you can see a pretty large blaster pistol on it.
Is it gonna fit the small one?
Is the what
the belt?
It probably has a notch just big enough for Flopsy. This guy's like pretty stocky, so it probably fits you fine. It'd be that like Han Solo angled one, but with,
which might help the whole aesthetic, I guess. But,
yeah.
And
I very obviously like pull out my like slicer gear and like wear that like.
He's my slicer.
There you go. He's a slicer kid. He's like
fucking punks.
I could go get some other weapons if anyone else wants to carry anything. That's just what I carry.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily mind having a couple of if we just have a couple of extra guns just in case we manage to get all the
No guns.
Well, if you can carry them and then give them to them.
Yeah, because then when we bust the prisoners out, we can arm somebody.
See,
and at the very least,
give me an hour or two. I'll be back with some firepower.
Okay. Easy.
Yeah, I just think we can probably carry them between everybody.
He's going to head out for a little bit to go do that. Anything else you guys are going to do in the meantime?
continue scouting the place out, making sure there's not like a
we see
know.
fucking Darth Vader pull up.
exactly yeah like an imperial shuttle lands, Darth Vader and the Emperor and 12 Inquisitors get off, and we're just like, oh, maybe we should come back later. Huh?
We'll come back later. Oh man.
Okay.
That's like our Kraken roll. Is like
We have a Darth Vader shows up roll.
We're not doing any of those rolls because I'm not a monster.
it's hard enough to live in the Star Wars universe without Kraken rolls.
When he comes back, he's gonna kind of walk out and he's gonna look. He's gonna like, you see he's got like a bag over his shoulder and he's going to like reach in and pull out what basically looks like a really big, thick like laser shotgun.
Nice.
And he's gonna like walk over to you, be like, you can't carry this. And he's gonna sling it over your back. And he'll be like, don't have to use it, but you could probably actually carry the thing.
What?
He reaches in and he digs in for a little bit more and he just like pulls out a gun belt with a little blaster on it and tosses it to you. Pulls out a blaster rifle and a blaster carbine and swings them over either shoulder of Skull. And he's like, you're covered up enough that with weapons they might question you carrying any more. You got one.
I got two
of
pistols.
him.
I'm doing strength training so I can use a heavy blaster rifle.
He'll be like, that should work.
You ready?
Always.
I need to put a couple more points into computers if I'm going to be the slicer kid.
Well,
Someone's got to be.
I guess we'll put him in binds that aren't actually,
Your fake binders.
or like one of them's actually shut because that won't mean anything, but the other one's not. I'm not using explosive manacles. I've got my explosive shackles, but
Deciding not to use those is nice. I mean,
yeah, he just slams them on a.
he wraps them around the guy's neck and pulls them tight and they explode. The blast gets absorbed by his face. That'd be metal as fuck.
That's pretty metal. That's just remember that for when you need that. Do a Star Wars jailbreak later.
Just this plastered face. Anyway.
Classic.
And I guess we're going in.
Going in and going to the Imperial lockup on Mandalore. Try and lift out Avid Beck, the Mandalorian Smith. Next time! As we've come to a good point here, I think, where you are set up for the next big task, and that task ahead of you, an Imperial prison break. We will see you guys in the next one.